the storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Youth on the go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
City Drugstore. On Everest's Main Street shining bright. City Drugstore, our guiding light. Pharmaceutical needs they provide. With love and care they stand beside. Your one-stop home health and office store. Dreams and wellness come explore. From medications to your beauty space. City Drugstore, our cherished place.
Good morning, friends, boys and girls, parents, everyone tuned into Von Radio. Good morning. Good morning, and thank you for tuning in this morning to another Youth on the Go show here on Von Radio. My name is Terenz Wallace-Warner, and I will be your host this morning, filling in for Miss Claxton, who is representing our island on official duty. Let's wish Miss Claxton and her colleagues a safe and successful journey. I know you will miss Miss Claxton this morning because she is just a ball of energy and excitement, but I promise you we will have an awesome time here this morning. All right, I will have a special co-host this morning, so you will have to stay tuned to meet her, and we'll also have our ECCB Connects aspect of the show. And of course, you'll have the opportunity to call in and win some prizes later on in the show. So don't go away. It's the Youth on the Go show here on Von Radio. Today is a special day here in St. Kitts and Nevis. It is actually a public holiday today. Today is National Heroes Day, where we celebrate and remember the contributions of our national heroes. For our students listening this morning, we have 5 national heroes, and I hope you can name them. But I will share with you the names of our national heroes. The Right Excellent Sir Robert Llewellyn Bradshaw. He is actually the first national hero of St. Kitts and Nevis. We also have the Right Excellent Sir Paul Southwell, the Right Excellent Sir Joseph Nathaniel France, KCMG, the Right Excellent Simeon Daniel. He is the first premier. He was the first premier of Nevis. The Right Excellent and Right Honorable Sir Kennedy Simmons, who is the only living national hero. So happy National Heroes Day. You have, if you didn't know before, you have just learned something new, and you can go back to school and share that with your teachers and your students and your classmates. We are also celebrating a very significant milestone in our nation's history. Yes, we are celebrating our 40th anniversary of independence under the theme Growing Sustainably, Developing Maturely, Building Resiliency, Independence 40. Now, the annual Independence Parade takes place on Independence Day, which is Tuesday, the 19th of September, at the ETW Park. This year, the parade begins at 5:30 p.m. So those of you who missed it before because it was so early in the morning, like I have, we have the opportunity this year to go out. I'm inviting everyone to come on out in their patriotic wear and enjoy the parade. As per usual, our schools will be participating. They have been practicing during the course of the week. We had practice sessions on Monday, Wednesday, and yesterday. And our students are excited and honored to be representing their schools in the Independence Parade. Now, just to share some information for our students who will be participating in the parade, and will be traveling on the school bus. Students, you are asked to be on the island's main road by 3:15 p.m. on Tuesday. That's 3:15 p.m. on Tuesday, 19th September, for pickup by the school buses. Representatives are kindly asked to arrive at the park, the ETW park, by 4:45 p.m. to begin lineup for the parade. Students, you must be neatly attired in your full school uniform, including crests and ties. You know what your full school uniform is. You're representing your school, so come on out neatly attired in your school uniform. Teachers accompanying the contingent are encouraged to wear black and white, just so that we can maintain some uniformity in the parade lineup. And at the end of the parade, after all of the activities have been done, the school buses will return students to their homes following the parade. Parents who will collect their children at the end of the parade must inform the teacher. Be sure to let the teacher know that you are taking your child with you and that they will not be returning on the school bus. So we want to remind you and invite you again to come on out on Tuesday at the ETW Park at 5:30 p.m. for the Independence Parade. In celebration of our Independence 40, a number of our schools held their patriotic programs and activities during the week just gone by. Activities began as early as Thursday, and our ministers of government and members of cabinet in the Nevis Island administration were able to visit the schools and take in some of the activities. Our schools went all out. They extended a warm welcome to our ministers of government. They had decorations. A number of schools performed the flag raising at their school. Those schools that had flags, they performed the flag raising. We saw St. James Primary, the VOJN Primary, and the St. Thomas's Primary. They hosted the members of cabinet on Thursday, and some schools had their activities, their patriotic programs. On Friday, we saw Joycelyn Liebert Primary. They had a patriotic exhibit, a display. The Cicely Brown Integrated School also hosted their patriotic program. St. James's Primary, the Charlestown Secondary, the Nevis Academy, they did a tour of some of the historic sites on Nevis in honor of, in celebration of our Independence 40, as well as the Elizabeth Pemberton Primary. They held their patriotic program on Friday, yesterday, and the Montessori Academy. Now, coming up on Monday, the 18th of September, the Gingerland Secondary School, Maud Cross Preparatory School, the Ivor Walters Primary School, the Violet O. Jeffers Nichols Primary, the Charlestown Primary, and the St. Thomas's Primary will host their patriotic programs and activities, and will also see visits from the ministers of government and members of cabinet. So I want to take this opportunity to wish all of you listening this morning, those of you near and far, a happy 40th anniversary of independence, and I hope that you go out and partake in some of the activities. There'll be activities happening for the entire month of September, so be sure to go out and celebrate our nation's 40th independence. Before we go any further, we'll take a break. This is the Youth on the Go show on Vaughan Radio.
From Queen City, Nevis, this is the powerhouse of the Eastern Caribbean, Vaughan Radio.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know, we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. let's go, let's go, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. With storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. You done the girl. Whoa. Let's start the show. You done the girl. Whoa. Let's start the show. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
City drugstore. On Everest's Main Street shining bright. City drugstore, our guiding light. Pharmaceutical needs they provide. With love and care they stand beside. Your one-stop home health and office store. Dreams and wellness come explore. From medications to your beauty space. City drugstore, our cherished place.
Welcome back to the Youth on the Go show here on Vaughn Radio. I am your host this week, Terenz Wallace-Warner. I'm filling in for Miss Zanella Claxton. Welcome to those of you, good morning to those of you just tuning in. I want to do just a recap of some of the things that happened in our education system this week. I want to wish a special welcome to our first year sixth formers who turned out to school this week. All the best for a successful school year. On Tuesday, the Comber Methodist Church hosted their annual back to school service for the St. James Primary School, the VOJN Primary School, and the Comber Preschool. We want to say thank you to the Methodist churches on Nevis for hosting our schools. Last week they would have hosted the schools in the Charlestown area, and for the other schools they will be going into the schools ministering to the students. So we want to say thank you to the Methodist churches for doing so. They have been doing this for a number of years. Also on Tuesday, the 12th of September, the Ministry of Agriculture launched the schools agro competition. The launch took place at the St. Thomas's Primary School because they were the winners of last year's competition. Last year was the first year, so this is the second year of the competition. And we saw ministers of government, officials from the Agriculture and Education Department and ministries. They were on hand for the launch of the competition. The competition will be held over an 8-week period, concluding on Thursday, 9th November. And the schools participating this year are the Cicely Brown Integrated School, the VOJN Primary, St. Thomas's Primary, Joycelyn Liebert Primary, Elizabeth Pemberton Primary, St. James's Primary, Ivor Walters Primary, Maud Cross Preparatory, Nevis Academy, and the Montezuri Academy. The Department of Agriculture provided each participating school with 2 mixed trays of seedlings. Schools participating in the greenhouse category received cabbage, tomato, and celery seedlings, while schools participating in the outdoor garden farm category received tomatoes, sweet pepper, and lettuce seedlings. The school's agro competition was initiated to encourage agriculture in schools, farming, backyard gardening in schools from a very young age. So all these schools will be planting the seedlings that they received. They will lay out their school gardens in creative ways, and the judging will take place during the 8-week period, and the winners will be announced. The Ivor Walters Primary School celebrated their school's anniversary this week, and we want to take this opportunity to extend a special congratulatory greetings to the Ivor Walters Primary School, the principal, staff, and students. Happy anniversary from the Ministry of Education. Now, just to share some upcoming events, we have some exciting upcoming events happening across education this term. Football action returns this year with the 2023 Department of Education and Department of Sports Primary Schools Football Tournament. The opening ceremony takes place on October 18th at the ETW Park, and the closing ceremony will be on November 18th, 2023 at the ETW Park. The full roster of matches will be released, so follow the Ministry of Education Nevis Facebook page. Follow us on Facebook for more information on the Primary Schools Football Tournament 2023. Last year it was an exciting tournament, nail-biting matches, and it came down to the Charlestown Primary School winning the finals. So we say best wishes to all the schools participating in this year's football tournament. We also have Nursery Rhyme Week, World Nursery Rhyme Week. This year would be our second year celebrating World Nursery Rhyme. Oh, it's a tongue tire. World Nursery Rhyme Week. And this will take place over the 13th to the 17th of November 2023. So save the dates. Your school will let you know some of the activities that they will be participating in to celebrate World Nursery Rhyme Week. And this is for all school levels. So it starts at daycare, preschools, primary schools, and our secondary schools, because we know nursery rhyme is important in literatures in English, for those students who are into the arts, music. Nursery rhymes and rhyming comes into play here. So the rhymes that we'll be using this year: 1, 2, buckle my shoe; hickory dickory dock; head, shoulders, knees and toes; row, row, row your boat; the wheels on the bus. So look out for World Nursery Rhyme Week. We had some very creative submissions and activities happening last year, so we are so excited to see this again this year. So save the dates. Also happening this term, a midterm break. There will be a midterm break in October. So from the 27th of October to the 30th of October, public schools on Nevis will be closed for an extended weekend, a midterm break. So the 27th is a Friday and the 30th is a Monday. School will be closed those days and will reopen on Tuesday, 31st October, where classes will resume in full. So that's our midterm break happening the 27th of October to the 30th of October. Schools will reopen on Tuesday, 31st October. That is for our public schools. Also happening in October is World Teachers Day. That takes place on October the 5th. So you can celebrate your teachers, thank them, past and present, your parents, your children's teachers. You take this special day to honor them and thank them for their contribution towards your child's education. Okay, and we also want to announce the not announce, but we'll remind you of the National Colors days that are remaining for the month of September. We had yesterday we wore black, and the week before that we had yellow, and then the first Friday in September was green. So still coming up, we'll be wearing white next Friday, and to close off the final Friday in September, we will be wearing red. So our schools have been participating in that. They have been enjoying the wearing their national colors, being patriotic, and learning some more about our independence and our national symbols. I want to take this time to encourage parents to share with their children some of their memories of their first independence. Some of you who were around for the very first independence, the independence activities. I always enjoy hearing from my grandmother, my mom, and my aunts, some of their experiences for the first independence and some of the early independence celebrations. They can vividly remember where they were, some of the activities, and the way they felt for the very first independence. So take some time out to share with your students some of the things that they will not find in the history books about our nation, and I'm sure they will enjoy it. Continue to encourage them to be patriotic, show love of country, and as our motto says, country above self. Help our children to understand what that means. So as I said, this is the Youth on the Go show here on Vaughan Radio. This morning, little later this morning during our show, the other half of our show, we will have the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Primary Schools Children's Connection section, where I will have a special co-host join me. As I said, we'll meet her, so you have to stick around and stay for to meet our co-host this morning. And again, I am Terenz Wallace-Warner, filling in for Miss Claxton, and this is the Youth on the Go show here on Vaughan Radio. So we will take a short break.
VON vibrate. The whole Caribbean must shake.
860 AM, the powerhouse.
It's time, come on, rise and shine. You know, I know we're gonna have a great time. And now we're past it quickly, you don't wanna miss it. So turn up the radio, it's Youth on the Go. Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Oh, let's start the show. Oh, let's go. I will learn new things. I will be creative. Grab your gears, let's gather around. An adventure is always waiting. With storytelling news for us, and we always know what's happening. We act, we play, we dance, we sing from 9 to 10 on Saturday morning. Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Oh, Youth on the Go. Whoa, let's start the show. Whoa, let's go.
City drugstore on Everest's Main Street, shining bright. City drugstore, our guiding light. Pharmaceutical needs they provide. With love and care they stand beside. Your one-stop home health and office store. Dreams and wellness, come explore. From medications to your beauty space. City drugstore, our cherished place.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They link
again, good morning to those who are just joining us, and welcome back to those who have been tuned in since 9 o'clock. I am Terenz Wallace-Warner, your host this morning for the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank's Children's Connection Program. And with me this morning is my co-host,
Kayla Claxton.
Welcome, Kayla. Thank you for hosting with me this morning. Now, we are very happy to be back with you today on another ECCB Children's Connection Program. Today in our ECCB at 40 Spotlight, we will focus on the third person to serve as Deputy Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Dr. Valda F. Henry. Now let's take a quick break and we will be right back with the ECCB at 40 Spotlight and today's lesson.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
All right, welcome back. Now, the ECCB 40th anniversary spotlight in the spotlight this morning is Dr. Valda F. Henry. So, boys and girls, it's time for the ECCB 40 spotlight. And today in the 6th ECCB at 40 Spotlight edition, we focus on the first woman to serve as Deputy Governor of the ECCB, Dr. Valda F. Henry. Now, Kayla, please tell our listening friends about Dr. Henry.
Dr. Valda F. Henry, who is from the Commonwealth of Dominica, is the current and third Deputy Governor of the ECCB and the first woman to serve in this role, starting from September 20th, 2021. Deputy Governor Dr. Henry ably assists the Governor of the ECCB, Timothy N.J. Antoine, by managing 7 departments at the ECCB and the Eastern Caribbean Securities Regulatory Commission, ECSRC, a sister institution. She is also responsible for change management and culture and is the chairperson of the ECCB's 40th Anniversary Planning Committee. Dr. Henry is a chartered financial analyst who holds a PhD in Industrial Relations and Business, a master's degree in Business Administration, and a bachelor's degree in both management and law. She is also qualified in the areas of financial analysis and planning, as well as in governance and business management. Before becoming Deputy Governor, Dr. Valda F. Henry was the CEO and principal trainer of VF Inc., a human resources consulting firm which she started in 2005.
All right, thank you, co-host Kayla, for telling us a bit about Dr. Valda F. Henry. Okay, so welcome back, friends. We hope you enjoyed learning about Dr. Valda F. Henry, the third Deputy Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank. Remember, you will be quizzed on what you just learned, so we hope that you were listening attentively and that you took your notes. So, Kayla, have you ever saved money for a particular reason before?
Yes, I have multiple times.
All right. Well, can you tell us one of those reasons why you were saving some money?
Well, I like to set goals. So, for example, say my phone costs $700 US. I would get all my money from birthdays, Christmas, and other occasions and put everything together to save towards the phone.
All right, that is a very good approach, Kayla. and where did you save your money?
I usually save my money in banks.
Okay, that's nice. In my time, growing up, we used to save our birthday money. We used to take our empty tin can of milk, wash it out, really, really good, put it to dry. We'd put a little slit at the top or in the bottom of the can, and we'll put our money in there and save it. That was so exciting because when you have coins, you'd hear them, jingling and around. But thankfully, these days we have banks. We have some very fancy piggy banks happening as well. So yes, thankfully we have banks. So well, most people, they save their money in banks. And did you know, Kayla, that some of these banks were in existence for hundreds, even thousands of years ago?
Oh wow, I never thought of that before.
I know banks have been around for a long time, but thousands of years ago, that's new for me. Well, they long ago, when money was not yet in existence, people who had extra grain, seeds, and other goods would lend these goods to farmers and other people. The people with the extra goods were called lenders, and the farmers were called borrowers. So when the borrowers harvested their crops, they would repay the lenders with the grain and seeds by giving the lenders some extra grains and seeds. So for example, if the lender had given the borrower 10 bags of seeds, the borrower would have to repay the lender the 10 bags of seeds plus an additional 2 bags. So the lender would now have even more seeds to lend to other people. Now, this didn't work only for agriculture products, but for other items as well, such as spices, precious stones, gold, and other precious metals. Each time the borrower would have to repay extra to the lender, and this happened over many, many years, and the lenders were eventually called banks. A bank is a business that gives loans to people, and the people have to repay the bank with interest. Have you ever heard of that word?
Yes,
interest?
all the time.
Okay, well, interest is the additional amount a person has to repay the bank when the bank lends them money. For example, if the bank lends you $100 and you have to pay the bank back $120, how much interest did you have to pay?
I would have paid $20 in interest.
All right, you had to pay $20 in interest because that was the additional amount on the loan of $100. So do you remember earlier our example about the 10 bags of seeds which the borrower got from the lender? The borrower had to give the lender back 12 bags of seeds. What do you think was the interest in that example?
The interest was 2 bags of seeds.
Awesome. Interest is very important to banks because that is one of the ways they make money to stay in business. Banks also make money by charging fees to their customers for the goods and services they offer. Do you know what a check or a checkbook is, Kayla?
Yes, I'm pretty sure what they are. They're like little slips of paper adults use as a form of payment.
Okay, awesome. A check is a document that we get from a bank that we can use to pay for items we purchase. And a checkbook contains many checks. We write the amount of the good or service on the check and address the check to the vendor from whom we are purchasing the item. The vendor or the seller then presents the check to the bank and collects the money from the bank. In order to provide services such as checkbooks, the bank charges its customers a fee. Now, when I write a check to pay for an item, where do you think the bank gets the money to pay the vendor?
They would take money off of your account.
All right. My co-host is so awesome this morning. The bank gets the money from my account that I opened at the bank. Banks not only lend money but also store money and keep it safe from being stolen. They have these big vaults that are they have tight security on these vaults, so our money is safe at the bank. When we put our money in the bank for safety, we say that we have opened an account. People can open different types of bank accounts. Two of the most popular types of accounts are checking accounts, on which you can use checks and debit cards, and savings accounts. Most people use their checking accounts to pay vendors for their day-to-day activities, such as shopping for groceries and buying gas for their cars. On the other hand, savings accounts are not used regularly. People put money in savings accounts for future use, and that's what you said you did, Kayla. People get debit cards from banks, and the banks also charge fees for use of those debit cards. Do you know what a debit card is, Kayla?
Yes. A debit card is used to make payments with money on your bank account without having to carry around hard cash.
Nice. A debit card is another way to make payments for goods and services. It is a plastic card with your banking information stored on it, which can be used to pay vendors for goods and services. The vendor must have a debit card machine in order for you to use your debit card. So when you go to the supermarket, that's that little machine that you see your parents swiping their cards through. The amount you spend gets immediately charged to your checking account. Debit cards. To your checking account. Debit cards are convenient and easy to use. Can you name one of the banks here in St. Kitts and Nevis?
I think one of the more popular banks is the Bank of Nevis.
All right. That's a great example because they have branches here in Nevis and also branches on St. Kitts. Have you ever visited that bank or any other bank with your mommy?
Yes, multiple times.
All right. Visiting a bank is an interesting experience. So if you haven't done so, boys and girls, ask your mommy or daddy or your aunt or your older sibling to take you someday. Now, not all banks are located in a building. Some banks are located completely on the internet. You cannot visit them in person. Those are called online or virtual banks. Most physical banks also provide their services on the internet. Over the years, banks have become bigger and very complicated, but their basic function has not changed. In the next episode of ECCB Children's Connection, we will talk more about the roles of banks and how the ECCB helps in making sure that banks perform their duties well. Let's take a quick break and we will be right back with the call-in segment where we hear from you.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Sugar City St. Kitts. Keep it sweet. Keep listening to Vaughn.
Connecting the children of our EC region with good information and excellent mentoring. They started us early and making it easy to manage our money and make a real living. They're linking the children with excellent mentoring.
Welcome back everyone to the ECCB Children's Connection. Now this is the exciting part of the program where we allow you to call in and we'll see if our friends remember what we learned today about banks. Remember, the questions will include the spotlight on Dr. Valda F. Henry, the third Deputy Governor of the ECCB. Please call us at 869-469-1616 or 469-1700 for a chance to win some fun prizes. Now, all you have to do is be the first to answer one of the questions correctly. Now, we will read all of the questions, and when you call in, you will indicate which question you will be answering. So I will allow my co-host, Miss Kayla, to read the first question.
Okay, the first question. Who is the first female deputy governor of the ECCB? Who is the first female deputy governor of the ECCB?
The second question. The extra people pay back to a bank when the bank lends them money is called what? The extra people pay back to a bank when the bank lends them money is called what?
True or false? Interest and fees are two ways banks make money. True or false? Interest and fees are two ways banks make money.
Okay, our fourth question this morning. One type of account that someone can open at a bank is a checking account. Another popular type of account is a what? I'll read the question again. One type of account that someone can open at a bank is a checking account. Another popular type of account is a what?
And the last question is another true or false. A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. True or false? I'm going to read it again. A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services.
Okay, so there you had your 5 questions for today. So we are opening the telephone lines and we want to hear from you. So the first person to call in, you let us know which question you'll be answering. Okay, I'll ask the questions again. First question, who is the first female deputy governor of the ECCB? Who is the first female deputy governor of the ECCB? And my co-host this morning, Kayla, she shared that information with you earlier. So I hope that you were taking your notes. Second question, Kayla will read that question for us.
The extra people pay back to a bank when the bank lends them money is called. The extra money people pay back to a bank when the bank lends them money is called what?
Okay, the third question, true or false? Interest and fees are two ways banks make money. Interest and fees are two ways banks make money. Is this true or false?
Number 4. One type of account that someone can open at a bank is a checking account. Another popular type of account is a...
And the final question, true or false? A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. True or false? A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. And the numbers again to call, 469-1616 or 469-1700. You get the chance to call in, answer the questions, and win some fun prizes. Oh, sorry, we lost that caller. We hope that you can call in again. Do we have another caller on the line? Okay, remember, we have 5 questions this morning. We have another caller. Good morning, caller. You are on the air on Vaughn Radio for the ECCB Children's Connection. What is your name, please?
My name is Denai Pemberton.
Can you speak a little louder?
My name is Denai Pemberton.
Tinari Pemberton?
Yes.
And you are calling to answer one of the questions. Which? Sorry.
Number 3.
Number 3. True or false? Interest and fees are two ways banks make money.
It's true.
Pardon me?
It's true.
It's true. That's correct. Interest and fees are indeed two ways banks make money. And your name again?
Denai Pemberton.
Tinari Pemberton. All right, Tinari Pemberton, you are our first winner this morning. And you can collect your prize at the Department of Education next week, during next week.
All right.
Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have another caller on the line? Okay. Congratulations, Tinari Pemberton. We have another caller. Good morning. Welcome to ECCB Children's Connection on Vaughn Radio. You are calling to answer one of our questions this morning.
Yes, Mommy.
Hi, Kiara. Good morning. Which question are you calling to answer?
Number 2.
Number 2?
Yes.
Okay, let me read the question. The extra money that people pay back to a bank when the bank lends them money is called what?
Interest.
Awesome! Congratulations! What's your name, please?
What did you say?
What is your name?
Yes, I want.
Kiara Warner. Congratulations! You're our second winner this morning. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Okay. Do we have any more callers on the line? We have 3 more questions. I'll repeat them until we get another caller. Who is the first female deputy governor of the ECCB? The other question, one type of account that someone can open at a bank is a checking account. Another popular type of account is a... And the final question, true or false? A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. True or false? A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. And our phone lines are open. The numbers to call are 469-1616 or 469-1700. You still have some time, so keep trying to get in. And this is the ECCB Children's Connection on Vaughn Radio during the Youth on the Go show. And do we have any more callers on the line? We are still waiting. Don't forget to call in. We have 3 questions, still 3 opportunities for 3 persons to win prizes. Who is the first female deputy governor of the ECCB, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank? And remember, my co-host Kayla read that information on the first female deputy governor of the ECCB. I hope that you were listening. And another question, one type of account that someone can open at a bank is a checking account. Another popular type of account is a... And the final question, true or false? A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. Okay. It seems like everyone is sleeping in on their holiday today, the National Heroes Day holiday. We still have some more time, so you have an opportunity to call in. This is the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Children's Connection Program, where today we learned about how banks work. We have another caller. Good morning. Welcome to the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Children's Program. Are you calling to answer one of our questions this morning?
Yes, my name is Zoria Chapman, and I'm calling to answer to say that that the debit card is another way to
Okay, that question, that was okay, I'll read it. The question was, you have to say if it's true or false. A debit card is another way to pay for goods and services. Is that true or false?
True.
All right, and can you repeat your name, please?
Zoria Chapman.
Zoria, can you spell your first name?
Zoria.
Zoria. All right, Zoria Chapman, you are a winner here this morning. Congratulations, and you can collect your prize at the Department of Education a little later next week. Congratulations. Thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so that means we have just 2 more questions. Oh, we lost another caller. Please continue to call in. We have 2 more questions, 2 opportunities for 2 persons to win prizes. Okay, we have another caller. Good morning. Welcome to the ECCB Children's Connection. Are you calling in to answer one of our questions?
Yes.
Okay, and what is your name, please?
Tinari Pemberton.
Hello, Tinari Pemberton again. All right. Which question are you calling to answer? Hello?
Another type of
You have to speak up. We are not hearing you clearly.
another type of an account that you can open on the bank with a saving account.
Okay, can you repeat that, please? A little louder.
Another account that you can open at the bank is a savings account.
All right, that's correct. So the question was, one type of account that someone can open at a bank is a checking account. Another popular type of account is, and Tinari said, that is a savings account. Congratulations, Tinari, that was correct. And we have one more question just before we run out of time this morning. Oh, I'm sorry, we are out of time this morning, so we have to move on. Thank you to everyone who called in. And just before we close off, today we have a very interesting value lesson to share with you. But let's first hear from our friend Oliver.
Howdy, boys and girls. Welcome back to Oliver's Tree, where you will find wisdom to be all you can be. The months are passing by so quickly, but I don't mind. Gives me a chance to share another wise word with you. Today's wise word is integrity. This means being honest and upright, having strong moral principles, and doing the right thing at all times. When you are a person of integrity, you are true to what you say, and people can trust you, boys and girls. Never forget this very important word, integrity. Now back to your host.
Thank you, Oliver. Thank you for that lesson this morning on integrity. Now, Kayla, what would you do if you are playing in the schoolyard, you're at school with your friends, and one of your friends' lunch money falls out of their pockets without them noticing? What would you do?
I think I would pick it up and let them know that it fell and then give it back to them.
That's right. The right thing to do is to let them know or pick it up and give it to them, just like you said. Now, what if you did not have any lunch or money to purchase lunch? Would you still tell your friend this money dropped, or would you keep the money for yourself?
I would still give it to them because it's the right thing to do.
That's right. That's right. So by telling your friend and giving them that money that they dropped, you are showing integrity. Integrity is doing the right thing even though no one is watching or no one is around. In other words, it is letting the right things guide your actions at all times. Keeping your friend's money would be stealing, as we know, and stealing is not right, boys and girls. When someone steals, they are not practicing integrity. Now, Kayla, when you peel a banana to eat it, what do you expect to see inside?
Well, I expect to see a ripe and, cream-colored banana.
All right, so when we peel a banana, we expect to see the banana inside for us to enjoy. That's right. It's the same with integrity. What we show on the outside should be what people expect us to be on the inside. We must always practice integrity so that people will see us as honest and trustworthy at all times. Here are some ways you can show integrity. Do your own schoolwork. Do not cheat or copy, and do not allow others to copy your work. Follow instructions. Be respectful of rules. Be respectful to others. Stand up for what you know is right. Be honest. Be trustworthy. Now we have come to the end of another ECCB Children's Connection program. We are so happy that you joined us today. We learned a lot about how banks work and the importance of practicing integrity. And congratulations to our winners who called in. So until we meet again, I am your host, Terenz Wallace-Warner, and
I am Kayla Claxton.
Let's talk again soon. But then remember to always show integrity. Stay connected.